All right, here we go. Now we're recording. Okay, so welcome to this week's edition of the Business Owners Mastermind Call. And this is put on by the Bellevue-Harpeth Chamber of Commerce and Mouse Calls out of Nashville, Tennessee. This call comes to you live every other Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Time, 9:30 a.m. Mountain Time, 10:30 a.m. Central Time, and 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So if you ever want access to this and other events that I do, just go to johnpyron.com and click on the events tab, and that's where I keep all the events that I'm either hosting or a part of, or even an attendee of. I put all that valuable information in there and make it available for everyone. And so before we get started, we are live on Facebook, okay? So if you can do me a favor and go to Facebook, look me up, John Pyron, Johnpyron. You'll see it's a picture of me in a hat with my beautiful wife, Allison, and glasses. Friend me if we're not already friends there. And then do what's called a watch party. So do what's called a watch party on this live event. And so what will happen is if you do a watch party, you can select any page that you have, any group that you want to do the watch party in, your live feed, but that will get the word out. So the more people that we can have here, the better. And so, and then you'll also get a copy of the recording. So if you could do that, and Amy, I know you wanted to put this out live on the Harpeth Chamber of Commerce or Bellevue-Harpeth Chamber of Commerce Facebook page. So you would just go to my what do you call it? My Facebook profile. You'll see the live feed, and then just share it. So when you share it, it'll say create a watch party, and then you share it to the chamber page, and then it'll be live there. You are awesome. Okay. All right. Let me, Alan Reeves, what's up, buddy? Our other co-sponsor here. All right. Let me get my screen here. Okay. All right, so just kind of, again, if you have any business challenges, questions, anything like that, definitely put it in the chat window. Definitely want to address any challenges, opportunities, business problems. The thing I like about coaching and consulting business owners, and I've been building companies now for, 30 years, is there are always problems. If you don't have problems in your business, you're probably not taking enough activity in your business. And so the problems are either good or they're not so good. And so I'm here to help with those challenges. So before I get rocking and rolling here, I want to let Amy say hi from the chamber. Give us any updates that you have as the chamber, anything new, any resources that we can have access to. Go for it, Amy.
Thanks a lot, John. We do have a website that has a lot of information that might be useful to you for the COVID-19 situation. One thing I did want to let everyone know is that the Paycheck Protection Plan program, if you have not applied for that with your bank, I would highly suggest you do that right now, because whatever new funding comes along from the PPP will be quickly gone from applications that are already in the pipeline. That's what I've been hearing from the banks in our chamber. So there is a link on our website, BellevueHarpethChamber.com, COVID-19 resources, and there's a link to information about that, and multiple other sources as well. So just wanted to remind everyone about that. Additionally, right now we're just watching the mayor of Nashville. Some of you don't live in Nashville, but the governor and the mayor of Nashville are kind of opening up the state of Tennessee in different phases, kind of back to business. And so we're watching that, and we're actually participating in a small business task force that is working to get that information out to our business people and allowing for your feedback. That will be coming out very soon as well. So Otherwise, just trying to get some new virtual networking things set up and working on rescheduled events, things of that nature. So we really are happy to have everyone here on this call. And thanks again to Mouse Calls for setting this up with John and for being our co-host and sponsor of these business mastermind calls. You're muted, John.
There we go. All right. Thank you, Amy. And we're going to make some time partway through, allow Mouse Calls to give us a little update in their space and tell us a little bit about themselves, because they're one of the co-sponsors of this call. And so to answer Kimberly's question, Kimberly said, I thought the PPP not for independent contractors. Actually, it is for independent contractors, 1099 independent contractors, sole proprietors. You can apply for up to 250% of your monthly income. You're going to need your tax return from last year. You're going to need your current P&L. And basically what it comes down to is, okay, what your income was minus all your expenses. Here's your income. 250% of that is what you're going to get with the PPP. Definitely get your applications. Like Amy said, get your application as quickly as possible, because they just announced another round of funding. And if your app's already in, you're going to be in line to capture that. Now, here's the cool thing. If you use 75% of it or more for payroll, or if you're an independent contractor or sole proprietor, if you use 75% of it to pay yourself, then you don't have to pay any of it back. Okay. So what I tell business owners is use 100% of it for payroll. Use 100% of it if you're a 1099 contractor or sole proprietor. And if you still can't use 100% of it, give yourself a raise. Okay. It comes down to the total payroll has to be the number that you applied for. If for some reason you don't use 75% of it, it will become a 1% loan with payments deferred for 6 months, which is cheap money. Okay. So that is the scoop on that. Connect with Amanda Jones for sure. I guess we have somebody in the chamber that's an expert at that. It would be really cool, Amy, if you could share Amy's information in the chat window, so that way everybody can have it. Always looking for experts and interviewing experts for that type of stuff. All right. So for those of you that are just now, you've never heard me speak, you don't know who I am, there's always 3 questions. Who is this dude? Why should I listen to him? What's in it for me? So let me see if I can answer that real quick. So my name is John Pyron. I'm out of Sacramento, California. I'm actually from the South. I was born in Dallas, Texas, raised in Grand Prairie. And I've got cousins all over the place. So Mississippi, Tennessee, my client, Alan, here's in Tennessee. My mom lives in Tennessee. So we're actually going to come out to Tennessee in probably July or August. So whether the things open up or not, Alan, we're going to come out there anyways. so we'll have to get together. And what would be really cool is if I'm out there during the week, I'll do a full-blown workshop for free for the chamber. It'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. And so today I'm going to talk about the reason why, what's in it for you. Share some content. I'm going to share some content about what I'm working with as far as clients. I've built 7 different companies over the last 30 years. I've had 4 IT managed service companies. I've had a sales training company, been a sales coach, trained thousands of salespeople, got tired of doing that and started coaching and consulting business owners, and literally have helped thousands of business owners. And you name the business, I probably have coached somebody in that business. So 85 to 90% of the problems are the same in any business. It's that 10 to 15% that I absolutely love, because I love solving problems. That's my juice. So the bigger the problems that you can bring today, the more excited I'm going to be. And because your problem is probably not unique to your business, it's probably the same problem somebody else is having. There is no dumb questions here. I'm definitely going to make time for you. And so with that said, let's hop into the content. You want to jot down this phone number, 916-741-0596. So 916-741-0596. And so that is a Google Voice number of mine. And send me a text with your name and your email address. I've been doing a lot of these talks recently, And so I have compiled a crap ton of content, recorded content, stuff that I'm digesting and learning. I'm putting it all in a little Dropbox folder called Business Owner Resources. And so if you send me that information, I'll add you to the Dropbox folder. Probably going to add you to my email list. Probably not going to spam you. Definitely don't spam people. Not a good thing if you want to stay in business for any length of time, but only share valuable content. So let's talk about the content. So last time we talked about the fact, this was 2 weeks ago, talked about the fact that the world has changed. It's probably not going to go back to normal anytime soon. Businesses, if you think about it, if you're a business owner and you have an office space and you're paying, $10,000, $15,000 a month in a lease payment, and now your 50 to 60 people are working from home, they're doing really, really well. Are you going to bring everybody back to the office? Probably not. Probably not. Because why have that amount of overhead? It's like my personal mentor, Grant Cardone. And for those of you that would like to mentor with him, he's got a program called 10X Mentor Program. I think there's only 5 weeks left in it. When he announced that, I got rid of all my coaches, got rid of all the people I was following. I'm like, I'm signing up for that, man. Yeah. And so there's about 30 countries in there. And text me or send me a request, and I'll send you information on that. I think there's only about 5 weeks left, and you got about 3 weeks of the recordings. But unbelievable group, unbelievable association. But here's the point. He just bought a 25,000 square foot office in Miami for $14 million. And he's got 109 people working from home. And what he's found is these 109 people are extremely effective. In fact, his business has grown well over 20% since the coronavirus hit, since they started working from home. He's like, damn it, man, I just spent all this money on this office. I'm thinking about selling this thing, man. I'm going to bring all these people back. They're happier. They're working from home. They're having a lot more productive. This whole, and Zoom has worked out all their security holes. So we talked about the fact that certain businesses are going to change forever. Life as you know it is going to change forever. Just like September 11th, airline travel changed, just like the in 2008 when the housing crisis hit. It changed housing regulations and rules forever. This is going to change the way people operate. So the question comes down to is this. Are you in acceptance of where things are at right now? Now, here's how you know if you're in acceptance. Are you still spending, are you not spending, I should say, are you spending more time during the day on your business and being disciplined versus sitting on the couch because you're sheltered in place, watching the news 2, 3, 4 hours a day, doing stuff that adds absolutely no value to your business, your personal life, your family? How much wasted time do you have? And that's how you know whether you have accepted the fact that, hey, it's different. Like I was talking to my old mentor, Dave, last night. Got done. I was on my way home, and we finally connected. And Dave's been my mentor. I met Dave in, 1991 and started mentoring with him in 1996. He was the guy, because I was scared to death of sales, absolutely scared to death of sales. Was an engineer before, worked at Hewlett Packard. I'm like, I don't talk to people. Okay, you got to understand, I just don't do that. And so I got over my fear, hired him as my mentor in 1996. But we were talking last night, and his entire business right now is shut down. Like the entire business is shut down because he sells windows and roofs and home improvement stuff, and his thing is going around and knocking on doors. Well, that's over. But the thing I told him, I'm like, dude, you're 64 years old now. I gave you this idea 3 years ago, by the way, and you didn't do anything with it. Your son is one of the top digital marketing agencies on the planet. I mean, he does digital marketing for Ice Cube, for Usher, for a lot of famous people. I said, this is your son, right? He goes, yeah, but there's nobody in the studio. I go, well, he'll come there. I says, why not take all the expertise? Let's just say, Dave, I'm telling you this story. This applies to you. I'm going to land the plane here in a minute because some of you are going to make a lot of money out of this idea. Some of you are going to take what I'm going to tell you right now, and you're going to apply it's going to be an aha. You'll be like, oh my God, that is the biggest breakthrough I've ever had. Because it applies to pretty much any business right now. And so I told him, I says, if you look at, okay, age 20 and now you're 64, that's 44 years of experience that you have to offer to the marketplace. You're at home. You can't do anything right now. But guess what? We are going to come out of this. There is going to become an end to this. And I said, you've been an independent contractor, 1099 subcontractor. You applied for the PPP. That's a weird sound. There's a weird sound, siren sound like coming from your office. Yes, I am actually, if I had to turn this around, it's 80-something or 74 degrees. I'm actually in my garage, and that is a green screen behind me. So I'm enjoying. It's the garbage guy across the street emptying the garbage. So he'll be done here in a minute, and we'll get the audio dialed in. Don't let it distract you for right now. So, anyways, I just told him. I said, "Hey, all the stuff you taught me, all the stuff that you've taught thousands of other people. I mean, I've seen this guy speak on stage in front of 15,000 people and knock it out of the park." I'm like, in your industry, it's going to come back. Maybe next week, maybe next month, maybe 2 months, but it's going to come back. Why go into the studio right now and create a bunch of content with the very best strategies and ideas that have made you well over 500 grand a year forever since I've known you? Why not do that? And he's like, oh, that's a great idea. Yeah. So think about your own business. Let's bring this home to you. Think about what it is that your business is doing. Let's just say you're a massage therapist, which I have a friend of mine locally who's a massage therapist. And you're banned from going to the office right now, and you can't get there. And so, in fact, in Sacramento, where she's located, if she gets caught doing massage, they will rip her license from her. Okay. Well, I said, hey, why don't you do this? Invite a friend, a relative over to your home. Okay. Set up your massage table there. Okay. And why don't you teach and record how to give great massage? Okay, the different pressure points. This. Why not teach? Okay, how to massage people, yourself, right? Why not develop all this great content? Okay, don't accept payment from her when she's there because that would be violating your license. You're just doing it because you're a friend, right? You're not violating anything. And so when you come out of this, you have an incredible amount of content that is already disseminated out on Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, right? You have all this attention. And so when the door does open back up, all you got to do is press your foot on the gas just a little bit and you're going to explode because you got all this momentum. Now, here's where I got this idea. I was listening to Jared Glenn. He is Grant Cardone's right-hand man. And 4 weeks ago, if you go to Cardone Zone, it's a podcast, right? So Cardone Zone on your podcast channel, look up Young Hustlers, I think it was 3 or 4 weeks ago. And one of the analogies he gave, and I thought it was a brilliant analogy, and I'm like, that is a brilliant analogy. It's like one of those, could have had a V8 moments. And so he said, okay, you've gone into the marketplace. Okay, we've gone into the coronavirus. We're all locked down now. So imagine you're going to start at zero right now. Like life as you know it has come to an end, right? I guarantee you, every single one of us on this call, including myself, all those problems I had, all those challenges I had prior to the president saying, "Hey, we're going on lockdown," I would go back and grab those. Okay, I would want those back, but now probably not. I've got more fire, more oomph, more excitement about where I'm going now. I needed this kick in the butt personally to get me off of my comfort zone. Okay, but just imagine, okay, wherever it is that you entered this marketplace, wherever it is that you finally reached acceptance, you're like, hey, you know what? I can't be depressed about it no more. I'm not going to be angry about it no more. I'm not going to die, fill my brain with all this news. I am going to accept the fact that, hey, this is how it is, and I'm going to move forward. And so that's your freight train, right? So I want you to picture a mile-long freight train, and you're at standstill the moment you enter this Corona thing. Well, now, in order to get that train going, it's going to take a tremendous amount of energy, meaning you've got to take a look at your discipline, because we are in a recession. And it's like my mentor Grant said, it's like a recession will discipline the undisciplined. And he's right. This is to be the third one I've gone through. And I've had to dig up all the stuff I've done before, and I'm going to share it with you today. In fact, I ran across a sick, like absolutely sick daily planning sheet that I used to use in the last recession. And it helped me grow my company 63.9%. I mean, I made it was unbelievable, but it's brutal. It is not for the faint of heart. But I'm going to share it on the screen here today. I'm going to show you, and now I'm going to give it to you on a silver platter because it's a Word document. But I started doing it today. Here's what it looks like. It's like a 2-pager, right? And I'm going to go over the details, but it's brutal, man. It's like all these questions for planning out the day, and it creates a big discipline focused in not in your business, but in your personal life. And so I'm going to go into that. So the first thing you got to do, once you get into acceptance, you got your freight train. It's starting to zero. Okay. Now, how do you start getting it going? Okay. How do you start it in forward motion? Because where you want to be at the end of this is you want to have a lot of momentum in your freight train. Okay. You want to have a lot of momentum. Here's the good news. You're going to make it through this. You're not going to die. Okay. Some of you might wish you would die throughout this, but I will tell you this, you're not going to die and you're going to make it through it. The question is who do you want to be on the other side? And so you got your freight train, and I'm going to give you some pointers on how to get that thing going and how to create momentum with that freight train. So that way, when we do come out of this, when we get the all clear, when we get the, hey, we can now shake hands again and give each other a high five and sing Kumbaya, you'll have a lot of momentum. And all you got to do is press a little bit more pressure on that, and you'll keep going. So the first thing you need to do is you need to assess your liabilities and your assets. So some things that used to be assets are now liabilities, and some things that are assets are now liabilities. And so I want you to sit down and look at, okay, here's all the liabilities, and make it simple. Here's all the things I pay right now, both in your home and in your business. Here's all the things that I pay, reoccurring subscriptions, everything. Here's what it is, and here's the cost. Okay, assets. Here's all the assets that I have: income, job, customers. Those are all assets. Your mindset, that's an asset. Some friends, assets. Spouses, assets. Kids, assets. Cars. Whatever you decide what column to put them in, you need to list them all out. This is what I'm doing. I'm being mentored to do right now, listing out all assets and liabilities. Next, you want to look at, okay, is this liability something that I absolutely must have? Okay, well, maybe not. Okay, the next question, do I need to have it? Okay, so I must have, do I need it? Third is like, so I can go either way. I must have it, must not have it. Okay. Fourth, I really don't need it. Fifth, this is actually stupid. Right? So you want to make a list of all those liabilities, and unless it's a absolute must have or a need, cut it. Get rid of it. Okay? You don't need it right now. It's just going to be a distraction. Okay, and so I went through all my liabilities, all the reoccurring things. I'm like, I don't use that. 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 Whack. I didn't care if it was $9.99. I got rid of it. It's just a distraction right now. I looked at What are the liabilities that I have that actually can be turned into assets now? You know, like I had some stuff lying around the house that I'm like, well, heck, I don't need that no more. And it all of a sudden became an asset. So I look at it this way. It's like, I am not going to spend any money right now unless it's going to add value to my home, my family, or my business. Just not going to do it. And when you're in an economic recession, cash is everything. Cash is everything. I don't know if you know this or not. One of the best things going on, let's say you have a 401k or a Kia or something, you can get 100K taken out of that with no taxes, no interest, okay, no penalties. You got 3 weeks to pay it back. It's the best loan on the planet going on right now. You're borrowing from yourself. And the good news is you can take that cash and put it to work in your business. And so I had a client of mine yesterday, and almost 3/4 of her projects are now on hold. 3/4. We've been working together for 4 years. It has a lot of momentum going on. Okay. In fact, was set to have the best year she had ever had, and then all of a sudden, boom, this thing hits. And this is on hold. That's on hold. That's on hold. That's on hold. Cash flow almost came to probably 3/4 of what she was bringing in. Stress to the max. 2 kids at home. Husband just quit his job 6 months, 9 months ago to work in the business full time with her, right? And she's like, and I'm like, hey, this is good. You are going to make so much money out of this. You are going to set yourself apart from everybody in your space now more than you have. Okay. So the first thing I had to do is say, hey, we need to get you into acceptance as quickly as possible so that way we can get back to work. And so she got back into acceptance. It's like, hey, you need to do this webinar, you need to do this webinar, you need to do this content, you need to call every single one of your customers and keep in touch with them. You need to touch bases with every single one of them right now. And you know what? You've been wanting to start these 3 new programs for a long time, but you've been so busy with all the other projects going on that we haven't had time to do it. Well, guess what you have now? You have time. And I said, you know what? The first thing we got to do, and this is something that I was instructed to do. I did this. This gave me the best piece on the planet as a business owner. Got this from a mentor, Grant Cardone. I'm going to give it to you right now. And that is, I put the worst case scenario. What is the worst case scenario that can absolutely happen right now? Let's say all my customers left. Every single one of them. Right? It all shut down. Okay. Well, that means I have no income. Okay. How much do I have in reserves or savings? Okay. Let's just say you don't have any. Okay. Well, now I'm really screwed. Well, maybe not. Now you can look around your house and go, okay, what can I sell? What can I sell? You know, Grant gave us he says, you know what? Here's what I want you to experience what it's like to be in the worst case scenario. I want you to experience what it's like to be at 0. Because truth be told, the most successful people on the planet, Grant Cardone, Damon John, Tony Robbins, you name the most successful person, one of the things that they're excellent and great at is taking themselves to broke every single day mentally. Okay, that's one of the biggest secrets of the wealthy and successful business owners is they take themselves to 0 every single day. Damon John wrote a book called The Power of Broke. Damon John's the Shark Tank dude, right? The founder of FUBU. And he wrote this book called The Power of Broke. And he says, you know what? We get our best ideas when we feel like we're struggling. We get our best ideas when we take ourselves to 0 mentally. Well, some of you, that's actually become a reality, not by choice. Okay, you may be on this call, you may be listening to this recording. I feel you, man. I know exactly, intimately what you're going through. I had this happen to me the Thursday before Thanksgiving 2013. I was making a six-figure income. I was a big deal. I mean, I had an ego the size of planet Earth. I thought I was the greatest thing since sliced bread. I just sold my fourth IT company for a lot of money. The challenge was I was stupid with money, and I spent just as much as I got, because I had not learned that lesson yet. Okay, but I was about to. And so Thursday before Thanksgiving 2013, my income goes from a six-figure income down to $600 a month. It was practically going to zero. I'm like, oh my God. My wife at the time was like, you got to get a job. I'm like, I don't want a job. And December 2nd, 2013, starting from practically nothing, I built this business. Okay. Built to six figures in 4.5 months. Why? Because I had no choice. My back was against the wall. And so I learned that taking to zero, putting yourself in a situation where you put your back up against the wall is like you get the best ideas, you get the most hustle. And so he said, here's what I want you to do. Here's the assignment he gave us. I'm going to give this assignment to you too. And if you want to take this challenge, once you complete this challenge, I want you to text me at the 916-741-0596 and say, hey, I accept this challenge. In fact, if you're on this live call, I want you to put in there, I accept the challenge. Now, as he said, I want you to look around over the next 24 hours. You cannot sell anything. You can't. Now, you can continue to sell what you have, but in order to meet this challenge, you cannot sell what you normally sell. You can't sell anything that you would normally sell in your business. You have no business. Your clients have fired you. You are in the worst case scenario and you have zero. Okay? And here's the challenge over the next 24 hours. I want you to go out and create $100. You can't do it. You can't sell what you normally sell. Maybe you have to sell something in your home. Maybe you have to go stand out on a street corner and hold up a sign for $100. But here's the mental state I want you to put yourself in is if you want to eat today, you have to create money. See, a lot of us, we take for granted that, hey, it's going to always come in. It's going to always come in. It's going to always come in. I'm 50 years old. This has never happened in my lifetime. Never in my lifetime as a free American have I been locked down in my home. Have I been told I can't go to a park? Have I been told I can't travel across state lines? Okay, I don't know about you, but I never imagined that we would ever experience that as an American. It's like I have a friend of mine out of San Francisco, and I guess they implemented a new city ordinance. You will get arrested if you go outside your home without a face mask. Okay? Now, I never thought in America we would experience that. Well, here's the deal. Let's just say you're at zero, right? You in your lifetime, I never thought I would ever be here. I mean, I'm 50 years old. I never thought I'd be, put yourself in that mentally and go, okay, how can I make $100 over the next 24 hours? Now, here's why this is important. Is I want you to experience it, number one, the worst case scenario that could possibly happen. And I want you to prove to yourself that, hey, if my back were against the wall, if I had the worst case scenario happen, I can create money. I looked around when he gave that challenge. I'm like, well, I can't sell coaching. I can't sell the workshops. I'm looking around my backyard and I got a patio heater. I can sell that. I could sell that furniture right there. And I look over at my competition barbecue. Now, Alan Reeves is going to get a kick out of this one. I look over there at my competition barbecue. I've won all kinds of stuff on that. It's the original Louisiana Grills competition barbecue, made in America, solid steel. Okay, heavy, not in China anymore. And it still works very, very well. And I'm like, you know what? I paid almost over $1,000 for that thing. I'm going to sell that bad boy for $100. I could have got 500. But I'm like, no, I'm going to sell for 100 because I want to feel the pain of that going out the door. Okay? And it's going to give me the leverage for using it as a goal. Now, here's how this translates to you. I picked something that I valued. Okay? And that's something that Grant told me on that call. He's like, hey, why don't you pick something that you care a lot about? that you really don't want to part with. And then go put it up on Facebook Marketplace. Go call a friend, sell it. Watch it go bye-bye. Feel the feeling of having to get rid of your most prized possessions so you can survive. Now, here's why this exercise is so important. And here's why if you need to do this is because you're going to be able to accept the worst case scenario. And here's the great news. Once you accept the worst case scenario, right, now you can go, okay, well, worst case scenario is obviously not going to happen, but if it did, I would live. I would survive. Shit, I can succeed now. And now you got this piece. I don't know about you. When I did this, try this out. When you do this, I want you to say, hey, text me and give me what that feels like. I know what it felt like for me. Because I put it up on Facebook within a half hour. I got it sold. I'm like, oh, crap. And he didn't pick it up until, I think, last Sunday. So 4 days later, I'm like, I hope he doesn't pick it up. To be quite honest, maybe he forgot, But no, the sucker came by and picked it up, and then I sold something else to him while he was here. And so, but the thing is the amount of freedom that I gained from the exercise to know that, hey, you know what? We can stay locked down for the rest of the year as far as I care. Okay. We can, shelter in place, and this could be the new normal. I don't care. Tell my wife, it's like, I don't care what the governor has to say. I don't care what's going on out there. It's not going to affect me right now. Okay. I'm going to wash my hands. Okay. I'm going to social distance. I'm going to protect other people from me, and I'm going to get to work. And so here's how you get to work, right? You come up with a daily discipline. Now, what I'm going to share with you right now, it ain't for the faint of heart. Okay. And so this is what I'm doing. This is something I created back in 2013 when my back was against the wall and I had no choice. I mean, it was either go and apply for food stamps or borrow money from friends or get to work. I mean, the worst case scenario had appeared on my doorstep. And so let me share my screen here. Where's my mouse? So let me get this document up over here. Put it over there. And is this good stuff? Can you guys give me a thumbs up or put in there it's good in the chat window? I want to make sure that you guys are getting a lot of value out of this right now. Okay. All right. So I just found this yesterday and I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly what I did to go from $600 to literally six figures in 4.5 months and over $500,000 in the next 2 years. I was like, This is not easy. I'm going to tell you right now. Okay. So I'm going to warn you when I share this screen, some of you are going to be like, oh my, that's a lot of work. And you know what it is. But the person you're going to become, if you actually do this, is sick. I would not go back and trade that experience in 2013 for any amount of money, an extra 20 years on my life. I wouldn't trade it for anything. Because I would not be the person I am today had I not gone through that challenge. I wouldn't be able to even be here and talk from experience about how, I'm going to go through this economic contraction, how you can go through it too and become 10 times better on the other side. This is what I did. Now, regardless of what your spiritual faith is, okay, doesn't matter what your religion is, this is mine. Okay, so don't get all hung up on that. I'm going to give you the actual Word document, and you can go through it and customize it and make it your own. Okay, so everybody can see my screen. Give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Okay, all right. So the first thing you do is you come up, okay, what is the theme? I always do this in December. What is my theme for the year? This year it was the year of growth and expansion. And then all of a sudden Corona hits, right? And so, I got to change my theme. No, that is the worst thing you can do. Okay. You may have to change tactics, but never change that target. Never change that target. And so what I do is I back then I'm like, you know what? My wife is freaking out. This is 2013. My kids, I got a mortgage. I got all this stuff going on, and and I'm scared to death. I'm like, I gotta come up with a system and a process to where I can discipline myself, because that is not my big thing. Okay, I'm a high D personality. I do not like being controlled, and I do not like sticking to a discipline. I like having control and doing what the heck I want to do. But I knew if I didn't discipline myself through this, there's no way in heck I could make it through it. And it's the same for what we're in right now. If you don't discipline yourself right now, you can get spanked really hard. But if you do discipline yourself right now, you can expand dramatically. So I said, okay, I'm going to take the old big rocks, little rocks, sand analogy, and I'm going to put that thing on steroids. So if you want a background on that, go to YouTube and type in big rocks, little rocks, sand. There's a really cool video that teaches you this number one success principle of how to get things done and put things in priority and not have to worry about balance in your life. True balance is being 100% present at whatever it is you're doing. When I'm with my kid, I'm 100% present. When I'm with my wife, I'm 100% present. When I'm in my business, I'm 100% present. When I'm telling Alan Reeves, his smile looks great, I'm 100% present. There you go. Is he looking at the smile right there? Okay, so we put in the big rocks, right? So in my case, my relationship with God and Jesus Christ, right? So I need to spend the number one appointment of the day that I have is I get up in the morning right now at a 5 a.m. schedule and start my coffee, get myself set up in my little chair there. And I've got this app called Bible.com. It's on my laptop, but I also have my journal. Okay, I highly recommend you go out and get yourself a journal. Okay, got my journal. The very first thing I do is I write down the date on the top of the page. And then I write down goals. And so I go right in and I go, okay, I have 3 or 4 different plans that I'm reading, 3 or 4 different devotionals. And I'm like, wait, this is actually really cool. They got these coronavirus devotionals right now. So I posted it on my Facebook, the one I did this morning. So I go through that and I ask myself, okay, what did I learn today from today's most important appointment and how can I apply it? I printed it out. So I have all my notes here. How am I going to apply it? And next is, okay, how will I serve God today? That's just me. That's me personally. You can modify this however you want. How will I share the good news about Jesus today? That's for me. Okay. Whatever your faith is, spirituality, that the most important thing here is take care of yourself first. Take care of your spiritual life first. Okay. Then I get into, okay, how can I plan out a proactive day? So, and I'm going to go through this because some of you are going to listen to this on audio. And I want you to mentally picture this. This is a 2-sheet here that I print out every morning, blank, and I fill this out. This is how I plan out a productive day. I had to make some tough choices today because I have a packed day. And I go, okay, so the first thing I do is I go to my journal, right? Got my journal here. And I write down goals and I write out the top 5 goals. Okay, actually that was yesterday. This is today. Yeah, I write out the goals. Okay, and how I write out my goals is I ask myself, okay, I woke up. Some people didn't wake up. I'm alive. Obviously, more stuff to do with my life. What do I want? What do I want to be, do, have? The first thing that comes to my mind is what I write down, as if I already have it. Like the first thing I wrote down today, for some reason, this is like on my mind. I'm like fired up about this. I'm like, I have personal and financial freedom by the end of 2025. And what that means to me is I want a business, real estate assets. I want all things set up where I can go and sit on a beach in Hawaii for a month if I want to and not have to show up to an appointment. Personal and financial freedom. I'm like, man, I could get fired up about that, but that's personal to me. It's got to be personal to you. And so I just kept asking the question until I came up with 5 things. 5 things. Okay. Next thing. Okay. Create and read out loud my affirmation for today. So I'm so glad I found this, because I'd stopped doing the after thing, and it's all fired up. So I said, okay, today I will execute at an 8+, an 8+ or higher, and I will help a lot of people. Today I will make God and myself proud. Only two people I need to impress on this planet, in my opinion, is myself and God. I don't need to impress anybody else. And the older I get, the more I realize how true that is. That most people aren't thinking about me at all. Okay, and that's fine. You know, the older you get, you kind of realize that, you know, it's like somebody said, from age 20 to age 40, you care about what other people think. From age 40 to age 60, you don't really care about what other people think. And by the time you hit age 60, you realize nobody's been thinking about you the entire time. and so, you know, the sooner you can get to acceptance with that, the happier you could be, right? So I create and read out loud my affirmation today. Okay, then I write out 5 things that I'm grateful for. Okay, Steve Napolitan, my mentor, taught me this. I write out 5 things that I'm grateful for today. I create a gratitude list. Then I say, okay, what books am I going to read today, and when am I going to read it? What is the book or books am I going to read today, and when am I going to read it? So if I go to my calendar, I have a slot in my calendar for break reading. That's what it says, break reading. Okay, and what training programs am I going to listen to today? Because if I don't sharpen my skill right now, if I don't invest in myself right now, I'm going to get spanked hard. Okay, I need to be on top of my game in my industry at what it is that I'm trying to do. A lot of people, here's your big market play right now. If you do what I'm telling you to do right now, it's going to separate you from every single person you have in your competition, because your competition ain't going to do this, right? A lot of people going into this coronavirus thing, we're coming out of a big bull market, a 10 to 12-year bull market, probably about a 10-year bull market, longest in history for a long time. And people have gotten lazy. Okay, I have a client of mine up. I'm not going to mention the town, but around here. Okay, and they have 2 salespeople. One's been there for 20 years. One of them's been there for 10 years. They've gotten lazy. They become order takers all this time. Well, guess what? That model ain't going to work now. Now they got to become salespeople. Actually, what their title is, and they're struggling with making that transition. And I'm like, wait, that's me too. I've gotten lazy. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get back to making sure I'm training, role-playing, practicing my skill and my craft so I can sharpen it, so I can go out and kick the competition's butt, because they're not going to do it. See, again, who do you want to be on the other side of this? Next is what time will be dedicated to thinking and strategy. I learned this from my mentor, Eric Lawfall. I'm like, that is the most brilliant idea. I never thought about doing it. How many of us keep going? We're busy. We're doing this. We're helping this person, working in our business. We're doing this. But we never sit back and take time to actually think. How many of you know that the absolute best ideas and best strategies are inside you? Some of the best ideas and strategies I've ever gotten was when I've slowed down and just thought. Our brains are designed to answer any question we ask it. Whatever your spiritual life is, faith, I believe God wants to talk to me. But if I don't slow the music down and take the time, how am I going to hear? And so if you look at my calendar today, I have time, break, thinking, and strategy. I think it's like, see, I'm doing the call with Cardone at 4:30. I think it's from 4 o'clock to 4:30. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to sit with my journal. Actually, I got it for 15 minutes. So 4 o'clock, 4:15 to 4:30 is when it's in my calendar. I'm going to just sit down with my journal. No music, no interruption, no nothing. And just think. I get some great ideas during that. So that's what that means. Next, okay, I got to take care of my body. Now notice these first 3 things are taking care of me. Why is that so important? Why is that so important, man? Because if you don't take care of you, you can't take care of others. Right? And it's in times that we get to learn these lessons that could last us for a lifetime. And so fitness, how and when will I exercise today? Now, normally I'm exercising while I'm doing some training with Cardone's team from 7 to 8. Got my little yoga mat out here, doing some push-ups, some sit-ups, and some jumping jacks, and I'm going to run around the block after the call, but I had to things got out of hand this morning, so I'm going to actually have to probably do that this evening. But I will make time to exercise today. Next is, okay, how will I honor my body today? I think about it ahead of time. If I don't take care of this, nothing else matters. You know? And so I plan, okay, what am I going to do and what am I not going to do? What am I not going to do today? Okay? What foods am I not going to eat? How much water am I going to drink? Right? How am I going to take care of my body? How much sleep do I need to get tonight to peak perform? I've learned, I used to be the warrior, man. I only need 5 hours of sleep. It was a badge of honor, man. It's like, hey, you know, those founding fathers, they all look tired. You know? And none of them look like they had enough sleep. And for many, many years, it's been a badge of honor that, hey, man, you got to burn the midnight oil, man. The early bird gets the worm, you know? I don't know about you. I don't want no worm. Okay? I don't want no worm. Worms don't taste good to me. What tastes good to me is being able to go and eat where the heck I want to eat, spend time with who I want to spend time with, do the things I want to do, help as many people as I can, and not be bound by, you know, time or money. Okay? And I watched my own mentor Grant do this because he was like going, and all of a sudden he switched and he's like, you know what? No, 8 hours of sleep is very, very, very important if you really want to play at a high level. You know, 168 hours in a week, 8 hours of sleep. You know, it leaves you 16 hours to invest in your business and your family. And so, so I put down, hey, if you go look at my calendar, I actually have sleep scheduled in my calendar, man. It says, hey, 9 p.m. I'm going to sleep. You know, I have it scheduled. So now I've taken care of myself fitness-wise. Now I need to focus on my family because they're the next priority in line. Now that I've taken care of myself, my family's next. Okay. So the question is, what can I do today to show love to family members? Okay. How will I lead my family today? Whether you're a male, female, it doesn't really matter. How are you going to lead your family? Now, I happen to believe that those that are leaders, the best leaders are the best servants. Okay. The best servants, man. It's like, how am I going to serve today? So I have questions in here. How will I honor and cherish Allison today? That's my wife. How will I honor and cherish her today? When will I spend time with her? Put it in my calendar. When will I spend time with my son today, and what will we focus on? Okay, because I found that it's not just enough for me to say, hey, I'm going to spend an hour with you, because that could be an hour watching TV. That could be an hour doing nothing. So I like, hey, what am I going to do with him? Okay. And then I'm like, okay, what other family member am I going to reach out? Maybe it's a phone call, a text, an email. Maybe I'm going to write out a card. What am I going to do to the family? Then my business comes into place. And if you go to YouTube and you type in clean slate strategy, I did a video on this. This is one of the most powerful strategies I've ever learned about mindset and about growing revenue in your business. So I decide, okay, how much money am I going to make today? I decided ahead of time. How many qualified leads will I add to my database today? Because, you know, if you know this or not, your business is like a fireplace. You got this nice warm fire going, and it's giving you all this heat and everything. But I got news for you. If you don't continue to put wood in it, that fire is going to go out. It's going to go out. Okay, it may not go out for very, very, very fast, but it will go out. And so it's very important. How many new leads am I going to add to my database? How will I make marketing touches today? Like I said, at 916-765-2596, I'm going to add a business resource. I teach people how to do marketing touches. Okay. So I want to make time. What time is it right now? Where's the time? Okay. So I want to make time real quick. I'll send this all to you. Okay. In fact, I think in the chat window, since you're on the call, I can just drop this bad boy So what I'll do is I'll drop it into the show notes, Amy. And then if you want to email that out to the chamber, all the recordings are in there. I'll drop this, and you can, it's self-explanatory, but I want to make time right now and bring on Alan Reeves. Alan Reeves is a good friend of mine. He runs Mouse Calls out of Nashville, Tennessee. Your business is perfectly positioned for this right now. I can't tell you how excited I am for your business. But I want to bring you on since you're sponsoring this. Tell us a little bit about Mouse Calls. How can they engage with you? And what it is that you can do for the chamber and everybody else that's listening to this live call and the best way to connect with you.
So obviously you can reach out to me. You can email me directly, Alan, ALAN, at mousecallsonline.com. John can put you in touch with me anytime as well. I wanted to just very, very quickly, John, you're not aware of this yet. I just got this confirmed this morning. But we've been working with a vendor partner because since COVID-19 and everybody working from home, we have seen an absolute explosion in hacking attempts, exploitation of software. Zoom is having to patch their software at least every other day because there are security holes being found. And just to give you an idea of how solid and secure your U.S. federal government is, the PPP loan database has been hacked. And there is now information about 8,000 applicants floating around out there on the dark web. We've been working with a vendor partner, and this morning I was able to secure an offer for the Bellevue Harpeth Chamber, but also, John, any other chamber you work with. We're going to be able to provide members with a $1 million identity theft protection insurance policy underwritten by AIG, free to all chamber members. And it also has, because people are working out of their homes, we had to, the way that you've got to package insurance is bundle it with something else. So that comes with a neighborhood sex offender monitoring service. So if a sex offender is in your neighborhood or moves into your neighborhood, and these public records are being pulled all the time, you will be alerted by text and email. And there are a lot of other features in there that you can upgrade to if you want yourself, such as 3-bureau credit monitoring, medical records monitoring, change of address, dark web, all that good stuff is in there. Cool. But we can provide the insurance to change the charge. Cool.
All right. So I want to kind of summarize real quick what I think the big play is. The cool thing is you invited me, you introduced me and Amy, right? And so we want to, my heart and soul is to help as many people as I can in business before I die, right? So I want to I was homeless, dropped out of high school, highly addicted to drugs when I was 17 years old. Somebody came and mentored me and said, the way you can repay me back is do something with your life. And when you're in a position to help people, I want you to help people. So that's where my passion comes from. Okay. Is I know what it's like to be homeless. I know what it's like to have nothing. I know what it's like to come from nothing. And I know what it's like to succeed. And so when you look at where we're going into the marketplace now and everybody's at home, not going to come back anytime soon. Your business, Alan, for the last 25 years was the one business that a lot of IT companies worldwide wanted to stay away from. They're like, we don't want to support the home user. We don't want to support the solo entrepreneur. That's not worth our time, energy, and effort. Well, guess what? There's a lot of them now. And the market's coming right at you. So I would highly recommend anybody that's on the live call here, anybody that's watching it, streaming it on Facebook, anybody, the thousands of people that are going to listen to the recording, go to mousecallsonline.com. Okay. Always tell them John Pyron referred you. Just say hi. That's right. So John Pyron referred you. Okay. And Alan has an affiliate program, so you can set yourself up as an affiliate. But these guys, I've been working with you guys for 4.5 years, and the programs you have for the home user and the solo entrepreneur are sick. I mean, there's nobody else, and I've been in the IT space for well over 20 years. Nobody's positioned like you guys. Nobody is. There are people playing catch up right now, but you guys could be the Amazon. and I kid you not, I'm not blowing smoke. You guys could be the Amazon of this space, and it's going to be a big space. So I'm excited for you guys. I'm glad you're in Nashville. I love coming to Nashville every time I come there. So Amy, I'm going to be coming out there soon. We'll have to plan an event for everybody once we get not sheltered in place. Love to get together and do a complete workshop. So you guys go out and make it happen this week. I hope you got a lot of value. I'm going to download the call and put it in the folder. Everything will be available, Amy, for download here probably the next hour or so. Okay? So go out and make it happen, guys. We'll talk to you later. See you in 2 weeks. Yeah, we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Thank you so much, John. Thank you, Alan. Good to see everyone. Anthony, Chet, nice to meet you.
Okay. Have a great one, guys.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.